Lakers are an amazing organization. I'm looking forward to meeting Mark and excited about the future. Also grateful to Jeannie and the Bus family for welcoming me to LA, and I'm happy that Jeannie will continue to be involved. I look forward to working with both of them to win championships.
Plural.
Exclamation point.
Ring culture.
Right.
Listen, I think this is great for the Lakers. And I think Jeannie Buss was a fine owner. I don't think she was terrible. I don't think she was one of the best. She does seem to be, I had very little interaction with her, but the little I had was always pleasant. And it seems like people have been around her a lot.
She's a really nice person.
Yeah. Correct. It speaks to, especially, and it seems like the bar for being a nice person amongst owners is pretty low. They're like, but she clears it for regular. That's what, right, for sure. And so, they were operating at a massive financial deficit compared to the other power players of the league. And they still spent on players. I think over the last decade, they're like 7th most in luxury tax. I know some Laker fans might be like, well, we're the 2nd biggest market and the biggest brand. We should be the most. But of the 3 teams that have spent the most, only one's gotten their money's worth. The Warriors have, but the Clippers and the Suns have not. And but it's been the other things. They are cheap on staffing. They don't have a shooting coach. Their scouting department is threadbare to a degree. They have a lot of people doing multiple jobs. They don't have a GM and a president of basketball ops. They have a GM who is president of basketball ops. They, in my opinion, lowballed Ty Lue unnecessarily, years ago, I think in Ty's opinion as well. And when it is and you were relying on a lot of literal friends and family, Jeannie's siblings, the Rambis family.
The Ramby,
Kurt and Linda. And so it's not going to be the Dodgers. There's no salary cap in baseball. You can just outspend and buy players. But that's not all they did. They hired Andrew Friedman. They had absolutely cutting edge scouting and analytics and all of it.
And financially, they have a lot of unconventional contracts.
Right, which, by the way, you can't do that in the NBA. So that part won't be there. But, Brew, the Lakers have been having this huge edge of being the Lakers, being LA, all of that. And then this downside of, but they're kind of cheap on some things. And now they could have all the edges of going with the Lakers and all the wealth. So it's just a huge moment for their fans.
For all their success, it is surprising how much of a mom and pop operation they were. They really were. I mean, when they're the greatest basketball franchise.
Yes.
I know Boston, with the rings, but obviously most of that was in the 60s with Bill Russell. The Lakers are the glamour franchise of the NBA, and they have been run like a mom and pop operation. Now, Jerry Buss, when he was the owner, was obviously very aggressive. You had Jerry West, so that's how they, they got Magic. They had Kareem before Buss took over. Then they got Shaq, as a free agent. Westbrook got him traded for Kobe. So they made some smart moves, but it was a different time then, right? You didn't have the technology and everything. You have the analytics today. Since everything has changed in the league, they have been at a severe disadvantage because of the lack of money that their ownership group tends to have. This is phenomenal news. Phenomenal news. They've just been relying on, hey, we're LA, we're the Lakers, so people want to come here like LeBron.
Yep.
Now they're actually going to have more than that to offer, as Nick said. And this guy, Mark Walter, since he took over, when he took over the Dodgers in 2012, they had not been to a World Series, let alone won one. They had not been to one in 24 years. They had missed the playoffs severy years. It was 1988. That was their last time they'd been there. They won it, but that was the last time they had even gotten there. And now, since he's taken over, they've won the division 11 times. They've been to the playoffs every single year. They've been to 4 World Series and won 2 of them. All right, this guy is going to look at their roster.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, obviously Shohei, and even before that, they went after Andre Ethier. They went after big names, stars that made sense. And what I like, he's kind of he's the anti-Jerry Jones. He's not seeing a lot.
That's right.
He hires baseball people in this case, but he'll hire basketball people, and maybe they already are there. He'll give Pelinka and those guys a chance. He'll let them do their job. I hire basketball experts. They do the job, and I'll sit back. I won't be all in the news and you know, getting involved in stuff. And those are the best owners. So even also in their 12 years he's on the team, 8 times they've been above the luxury tax in baseball. Yep. 7 times they've had the highest payroll in the league. So can you imagine the Lakers being willing to go above the second apron?
A good example
like
is they would have kept Caruso.
Yeah.
Like that's
huge.
In this, right, in this, you know, since LeBron's been there, they've obviously had misses and mistakes. Not many have been out of not spending money. Like the Russell Westbrook was a mistake, but that wasn't like a cheap option. Right. That was just a mistake. Caruso was flatly a financial, you know, decision, and it was also a scouting mistake in, I guess we can't keep THT and Caruso, so they kept THT. And so I do think that you mentioned Jerry Jones. That was my other takeaway from this, to be totally honest, before we get to other Lakers stuff later in the show, is I just wonder how this news landed at the desk of every single NFL owner. It's like, oh.
You mean the amount?
Yeah. Oh, we're talking, wait, hold on a second. The Los Angeles Lakers are worth $10 billion without owning their arena? Yeah. What are the Dallas Cowboys worth 15? Definitely.
Probably.
And so, maybe more. Yeah, I don't know.
If the Lakers are worth 10,
if the Lakers are worth 10,
they're worth
then
more.
And then what are that's the Cowboys, but team that's not the what are the
NFL's?
What are the Niners worth? The Niners are the Niners more valuable than the Lakers?
Commanders
because the league
just sold for under 6. Like right. The Celtics got over the Commanders.
Yeah, but I think that was I think and the Broncos just sold for 4.6 a few years ago. But I think this resets it.
Can I go back to the change in ownership? It feels like it's hard to find someone that says this isn't going to work. So it feels like a unanimous landslide of home run. So I'm like, whenever I see that, I'm like, I just don't buy that necessarily. Do you think there's any downside? And I'll give you an example. Like, here's a quote. This is a good move from Bontemps and McMenamin's article. This is a good move, one league source said. The Lakers can finally be run like a real business. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds great. Like all the other programs. At the same time, part of the Lakers' success, I think, comes from a tight-knit Lakers family. It comes from the fact that Kobe got a thank you contract at the end of his time.
But that wasn't, I mean, those weren't the great years. The great years came before
So that's the thing. That's
but
what people say that, KW. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go.
I know people have always said, like, yeah, you know, that's why. And I do think it's important to treat your people right and not kick them out the door and not have a situation like the Lions had for years with Calvin Johnson where, like, your star icon hates you. I get that. But was that Kobe contract, like, what's the net positive of that? And people can be like, well, that's why LeBron's not. No, it's not. LeBron's decision to go to the Lakers, I don't believe was because they treated Kobe right.
He wanted to come to L.A.
Yeah.
And also, I think most franchise would have done that for Kobe. I really believe that.
Sure, like a Dirk.
Yeah.
Dirk thing. Yeah. I think it's hard. Here's what I think the challenge of this story is. The Lakers' passionate fan base runs so hot and so deep. I don't know if you can put an analytic on it, but I'm not willing to dismiss the fact that it was a small, tightly knit organization.
I agree with that. I think the tangible benefits probably outweigh it, and I think we're going to hit $1 million in the next segment. Holy moly.
Not during the
Somebody. Do we have any
It's time
fireworks?
to celebrate.
This is
crumble cookies.
KW.
I know we're not supposed to advertise, but Giannis, can we get some of those?
That's not her job. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.